Hello and welcome. How are you? My name is Philip Ramos, and thank you so much for joining me here in the Strengths Studio. Today is a spotlight series. We're going to jump into the relationship building theme of includer. We're going to take a deeper dive into the characteristics, the specifics of it, how it works, and how it works for you. Now, one of the things I always want to remind people, this is a relationship building strength, but this doesn't mean that you need this particular strength in order to build relationships, right? These strengths, these themes, these characteristics, they influence the way we naturally think, feel, and behave towards everything. Okay. It's just our natural processes. So, for those of you that, so let's go ahead and take a deeper dive. And for those of you that have Includer, hopefully this is super fun. And those of you, maybe you have someone in your life that has Includer. Me and my wife, we talk about this one all the time, mainly because we see it in our dynamic. I have high Includer. My wife has low Includer. So it definitely influences the way we socialize, right? All right. So Includer, I am aware of exclusion. Like people with high includer, they're definitely aware of it. They're conscious of it, right? It's on their brain. When we start to create lists or invite people to specific things, you're like, oh wait, well, what about this person? I'm like, oh wait, what about this person, right? Again, it's not right or wrong whether I do it or someone doesn't do it. We have to look at it, why we're doing it. What's the influence of it, right? I'm always aware of it. It's always something that's on my brain, okay? I shrink the gap between haves and have-nots. I love this. I absolutely love this. Shrinking the gap, make more and more connections. Well, why would we exclude them? You know, there's fewer and fewer differences. The way I see it, right? And this is again my includer. We are so much more connected and related and similar in so many different ways, often more ways than what we're differences, and our differences are in the details, right? So that's my includer. That's how I see it. I'm always shrinking the gaps between different things of whether culture, whether relationships, whether, specific groups of people, specific even ideas. This isn't just people, but it works in within my ideas, okay? I bring a high level of tolerance and acceptance of diversity. There's no doubt about that, right? People with high includer, they don't see it the same way. They don't look at different groups of people. I was talking to my wife specifically about this. She was talking about text groups, right? People, yeah, sometimes will have different text groups for different reasons. People with high includer, they're like, let's bring them all. Why do we need multiple? We can just bring one big one, right? Talk about everything. And that's very much the way I am, right? The way I feel with myself, with having high includer, or someone else that has high includer. I love this, and I think this is so much fun. Why we're, again, this specific one, mainly because I have it so high, my wife has it lower, is I can see these dynamics and how they work differently inside of us. Doesn't make her right, doesn't make me wrong, doesn't make her wrong, doesn't make me right. And this is what's important, especially when we use words like diversity, right? Or inclusion or exclusion. It doesn't mean that someone is against a specific group or person or people or idea because they naturally don't necessarily include them. This is just the way they're operating systems for different reasons, right? So I really love this. I really, really love this. I need room for everyone. It's me. That's me. When I'm thinking about an event, when I'm thinking about, something, I'm like, oh, there's plenty of room, right? There's plenty of room. Or how do we make sure there's plenty of room for more? Ooh, I don't know. 300, it's not big. That's not big enough. We need enough for 1,000. And then I think, no, 1,000. It's funny when I do like different Zooms and stuff, right now I think the normal on your service, right, is like 500. But I always look at that and be like, no, I think I might need more. I might need more, not that I've reached 500 up to this point in a live Zoom, but my brain always thinks of that. I need room for more people, right? I think it's so funny how that works. I hate clicks. I just don't, it doesn't work for me, whether in a work environment, whether in a social environment, even in school. I always had different groups of friends, different groups of people. This group of friends, we went and did this and this and this and this and this. And I was always trying to intermingle and mesh them all. But clicks are never something that I was never, it's so funny reading over this and how, again, my way, I don't like them. I don't engage in them. I'm always trying to bring everything together, mesh everything together. So super funny. I love assimilation and integration. This is very much true, right? Again, my wife and I were just talking about this. Assimilation, integration, bringing things together, helping things work together. She even said, if you think about it in terms of food, people that don't have includer, maybe they don't like their food to touch, right? They're keeping it in different pockets. Not this guy. I'm like, right? Whip it all up, get all the flavors in there, all the yummy in there, and then take one big bite. That's 100% how I do it. 100% how I do it. So I can definitely see how something like this definitely drives me and motivates me. But again, it doesn't make me right and the other person wrong, or the other person right and me wrong, right? That's not what it's about. You have to identify, these are themes that inside of us, they're characteristics that drive us and motivate us. And the more and more you embrace them, the more and more you fall in love with them, the more and more you feed them, the more and more you start to identify, ooh, I do like this, and so I want to do this more, right? It does, just because it doesn't work for someone else doesn't mean I should hide that. I should figure out how can I integrate it, right? How can I integrate it and still make everybody feel welcome? How can I create a party and still have my wife feel welcome, right? And not be like, oh, babe, we just need more people, right? At some point for my wife, I gotta okay, I'm gonna make it like this because I want to be more strategic about my includer right? So as you look at these things, start to really not just see yourselves in it, but see the other people around you that are in it. Because just like me and my wife's dynamic, I know my kids' strengths, right? My business partner strengths, mine and Melinda's strengths. You have lots of people that you work with that are going to have different themes that are going to help them thrive and create in a different way. And the more you know them, then the more you can support them. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for being here. And remember, stay curious. Figure out, start to learn more about yourself, and then make better connections with others. All right? Have a great day. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.